Farida's Kunu was the pride of Zabi, sweet, chilled, and so irresistible that men crossed deserts for a sip and wives were scolded for not matching her magic. But the secret behind her fame wasn't millet or spice. It was breast milk. Yes, every cup was 70% milk from her own body, 30% Kunu, and when the truth spilled, the city's laughter turned into gasps, louder than a talking drum at midnight. Before you sip that Kunu beside you, remember this tale of Farida, the woman whose sweetness took over the whole of Kano city.
Buy Kunu! Drink and forget your sorrows!
Farida was a fine woman, tall, with a smile bright enough to melt shea butter. But life had not been kind to her. Her husband, Bello, had died when she was 6 months pregnant. One sickness, one short cough, one deep sigh, and he was gone like smoke from suya fire. People pitied her. Aya, they would say, pregnant and widowed? May Allah comfort her. But pity does not fill the stomach. When she gave birth to her baby boy, life became harder. She sold Kunu to survive, millet, ginger, cloves, sugar. She tried all recipes, but business was slow. Every morning, she would back her baby and drag her small blue cooler to the junction.
Buy Kunu aya! Fresh Kunu aya!
Kunu aya, ooh, fresh Kunu aya, she would shout until her voice cracked like old wood. Still, people passed her by like breeze. Some would look at her and say, "Ah, poor woman, may God help her," and keep walking. Others would even price it and say, "I'll come back," but they never did. Farida would return home tired, her baby sleeping on her back, her eyes heavy with tears. Ya Allah, she prayed one night, I am not lazy. I only need your mercy. Let my hands feed this child. I beg you. That night, as she nursed her baby, she noticed something unusual. Her breasts were full, heavy, almost overflowing. Aha, this milk no day finish? She muttered. Even the boy don't tire Seth. She sat for a while, looking at her cooler of unsold Kunu. The moonlight touched her face. Then a thought whispered into her mind. A mischievous, strange, unbelievable thought. What if, she said slowly, I add small of this milk to my Kunu? She laughed. He, Farida, you are mad. Oh, who does that? But another voice replied in her head. Who told you success comes from normal people? So she shrugged, got up, and did the unthinkable. She expressed a little milk into the pot, stirred it gently, humming a lullaby. When she tasted it, her eyes widened. Subhanallah, this one sweet pass, honey. She didn't tell a soul. She bottled the mixture and slept with a smile that night. The next morning, she dressed well, clean hijab, powder on her face, and that baby tied behind her with a colorful wrapper. She stood at her usual corner and shouted, is greater than
Drink and forget your sorrows!
Kunu aya'u, drink and forget your sorrows. The words rolled like drumbeats through the street. At first, nobody came. Then one curious man, Malam Sani, approached and sniffed. Farida, your Kunu day smell different today. You add cinnamon? She smiled mysteriously, just a little special touch. He bought 1 cup, took a sip, paused, took another, then shouted, Aye, Farida, this your Kunu day talk to my soul. Within minutes, the news spread. Have you tasted Farida's new Kunu? They say it's sweeter than Coke, even Fanta no reach am. By noon, her cooler was empty. She looked at her empty bottles, her heart pounding. All sold out, she whispered. Wallahi, it worked. She laughed till her sides hurt. Even the baby on her back giggled as if he knew what his mother had done. From that day, Farida became unstoppable. Every morning, before sunrise, she would extract her breast milk, pour it into the pot, add a bit of Kunu, stir, chill it with ice, back her baby, and head to her corner. Her slogan became legendary, is greater than Kunu aya, drink and forget your sorrows. Men, women, even children, shouted it with her. Traders who once sold soft drinks began scratching their heads. One man who sold Coke complained, since that woman start her Kunu, I never sell one bottle again. Even my fridge don't day cold for nothing. Halima, the famous zobo seller, suffered the most. Her zobo used to be the life of the market, cold, red, and sweet like Valentine's heart. But now, customers passed her like expired sachet water. She complained every day. Oga Musa, won't you step down that rice with my zobo today? Musa would laugh, wiping his mouth. No, oh, how can I? When Farida's Kunu is here for me. Halima nearly fainted. Haba, you choose Kunu over zobo? He winked and said, her Kunu day gives sound sleep, my sister. I drink it, and all my worries disappear. Even my wife day thank her, say I no disturb her again at night. The whole market burst into laughter. Soon, Farida's Kunu became a city treasure. Men said it gave them strength by day and peace by night. Women said it made their skin glow. Even children cried until their mothers bought it. Some men swore that one sip could cure headache, heartbreak, and hangover. Farida's Kunu na miracle drink, people said. Forget doctor, forget imam, just one calabash of her Kunu, and you go smile again. Every evening, you'd hear jokes in beer parlors. Why drink beer when Farida's Kunu can make you dream sweet? The wives, however, were not laughing. At home, many complained that their husbands came back from the market, took a cup of Farida's Kunu, and slept straight till morning. One woman cried to her neighbor, since that Kunu entered his life, I've lost my husband, oh. He no day talk, he no day touch, just drink and snore. The neighbor sighed. Maybe the Kunu is too sweet for his brain. And yet, the men didn't care. The more they slept, the more they bought. Halima, the zobo seller, couldn't take it anymore. She gathered other vendors, the sugarcane man, the fura seller, the puff-puff woman, and shouted, we must investigate this Farida, oh. Nobody drinks our products anymore. Even my own brother said her Kunu gives him inspiration. The puff-puff woman gasped. Ha, inspiration or madness? Halima hissed. Whatever it is, I'm tired. We must find out her secret ingredient. They plotted like hunters. Tomorrow morning, Halima said, we'll follow her quietly from her house before she reaches the market. One of us will see what she mixes. They all nodded, curiosity burning in their eyes. But before they could expose her, Farida's fame grew even bigger. A radio station announced, is greater than breaking news. The woman of Zanzari, whose Kunu replaced Coca-Cola. Her photo appeared in a small newspaper. Farida the miracle brewer. She started supplying shops. People came from neighboring towns to taste it. Some even said her Kunu cured sadness. Others claimed it worked like love potion. One man bought 5 bottles, saying, if I drink this, my wife go love me again. He drank, slept for 8 hours, and woke up happy not because of love, but because of rest. The rumor spread faster than wind. Now even imams and pastors were drinking it for energy. Zanzari had never seen anything like it. Scene 8. The brewing suspicion. But not everyone was blind. Old Dogo, the herbalist who always watched people from the corner of his stall, started to notice something strange. He saw Farida arrive early every day with her baby sleeping peacefully, and he wondered, where does this woman get all this milk for her business, and still have enough for her child? He stroked his beard. There's more to this Kunu than millet and sugar. So, one day, he decided to follow her quietly before dawn. And that, my people, is where the next part of the story begins. The moon that night hung like a half-eaten kola nut, bright but suspicious. Old Dogo, the herbalist, tied his wrapper tight, held his lantern, and followed Farida quietly. He moved like a cat, one careful step after another. Farida didn't know anyone was watching. She entered her small house, lit her kerosene lamp, and began her usual routine. She boiled the millet, added water, stirred with a big wooden spoon, then hummed her favorite lullaby, sleep my baby, sleep my joy. Mama's milk will feed the world tonight. Dogo's ears pricked up. Milk? Feed the world? He whispered to himself. He leaned closer to the window, eyes wide like calabashes. Then he saw it. Farida loosened her blouse, brought out a small clean bowl, and began to express her breast milk carefully into it. She sighed, wiped her forehead, and poured it straight into the steaming pot of Kunu. She stirred it lovingly and said, "Ah, this one go sell die tomorrow. Sweetness done double." Dogo's jaw dropped. He nearly dropped his lantern. He covered his mouth, whispering, Wonders shall never end. This woman has turned her baby's milk into business capital." He couldn't hold it anymore. He ran into the street shouting, "Everybody wake up! Wake up, ooh! Come and see the mystery of Zanzari." The market uproar. By morning, the whole market was on fire, not with flames, but with gossip. "Did you hear what Dogo saw?" "Ah," they said, "Farida's Kunu is not from millet, oh." "Then from what?" "From breast milk." The news spread faster than Harmattan breeze. Before noon, half the city had gathered at Farida's stall. Even Halima, the Zobo seller, arrived, panting and sweating like someone chasing gossip since sunrise. Farida arrived with her usual smile, backing her baby and balancing her cooler. She was about to shout her famous line, "Kunu aya, drink and forget your sorrows," when a voice thundered from behind, "Forget sorrow. You made us drink mother's sorrow." It was Dogo, holding his walking stick like a warrior. The crowd went silent. Farida blinked. "Malam Dogo, what are you saying?" He raised his hand dramatically. "You have been feeding this city breast milk instead of Kunu." Gasps everywhere. Halima clapped her hands and shouted, "Ah, I knew it. I said it. Nobody's Kunu can taste that sweet naturally. I told you people." The men looked at each other in disbelief. One of them wailed, "Ah, so I've been drinking breast milk every morning?" Another cried, "My wife will finish me today. She told me to stop, but I said one more bottle." Some women held their stomachs in disgust. Others burst into laughter so hard that they rolled on the ground. One man fainted dramatically beside a bowl of puff-puff. The shame of Farida. Farida froze, her face pale as pap. "Please, please, let me explain," she cried, trembling. "I didn't mean harm. I just wanted my business to grow." But the people were not listening. They began shouting, "Abomination! Sacrilege! We've been drinking like babies." Halima picked up a stick. "You finished my Zobo market. You embarrassed me. Now see your shame." The market women surrounded her. The chairman of the traders' union arrived with guards and shouted, "Lock that store! Seal it! This woman must never sell again in Zanzari." They padlocked her stall, threw her cooler away, and tore her signboard into pieces. The baby on her back started crying, and Farida fell to her knees, weeping. "Please forgive me. I am just a widow trying to survive." But the crowd turned their backs. The same people who once praised her now mocked her name. Farida, the Kunu queen, has become Farida, the breast milk brewer. That evening, as the market quieted down, Farida sat beside her baby, her eyes swollen from crying. Her house was dark, her pot empty, her heart heavy. She whispered, "Ya Allah, I did wrong, but you gave me milk in abundance. I only wanted to use what you gave me. Forgive me." The next day, she packed her few clothes, her baby's blanket, and her small savings coins she had hidden under her mat. She looked at her stall one last time, sighed, and said softly, "When you have tasted shame, you no longer fear hunger." Then she walked away from Zanzari, the city that once cheered her and now rejected her. Farida traveled far until she reached another bustling town, Marafa City, where nobody knew her name. There, she rented a tiny space beside the bus park, bought new pots, fresh millet, and started afresh. This time, she smiled and whispered, "I have learned my lesson. Let me do it clean this time." But you know human beings, once a trick works, the temptation whispers again. So, as the morning sun rose, she backed her baby, poured her chilled Kunu into bottles, and shouted in a bright voice, "Kunu aya o, drink, and forget your sorrows." The passengers at the park rushed by. It looked new, tasted magical, and no one knew the woman behind the stall carried the most scandalous secret from Zanzari. And that, my children, is how Farida turned shame into survival, and continued her trade in another city, where her name was new, her smile was sweet, and her kunu still sold out every day. So now, when you go to any city and hear a woman shouting,
Kunu
Kunu
aya.
aya,
Drink
and forget your
sorrows.
sorrows. Remember Farida, the woman who made the whole city of Zanzari forget its sorrow and its sanity. And let the elders say, when you drink sweetness built on deceit, you will one day taste bitterness. Because truly, my people, sweetness without truth is bitter in the end.